ukisikia tu hiyo unajua tu say what? Masaa zimefika za kila kitu including na ni baby na maneno mengine. How are you doing guys tonight?
I'm strong and very well.
Pastor Sue, I've missed you.
Oh, I watched you on Saturday and you people did fantastic work. I'm telling you, the show was just top notch.
Tulikuwa tunaongea mambo ya social media pressure, unanunuliwa gari huko una post, unanunuliwa nini una post. Lakini watu wa post mashida zao.
Si
ukweli.
Yeah. Wanaficha hiyo. Yes.
Lakini wanaficha, lakini wengine wanapost chat. Jafe.
What's up?
Good to see you. Well, I've never imagined that mimi I should have you on my show.
I know.
You've not even invited me to yours.
Imagine.
What a shame.
No, I'm so embarrassed. Unajua ile wall tu imetugawa tu wall just this.
You know Radio 47 is just here.
Wow.
And we are here.
You've never been there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I'm so embarrassed.
Today is the day.
Today is the day. Leo nimekupata.
Today na today.
Leo umepata na two powerful women.
Yes.
Kwanza Pastor Sue.
Yes.
Utapelekwa hivi.
Ndio Pastor Sue ni mtu nimemfuata TikTok, Facebook, everywhere.
What do you
Thank
think
you
of
so much.
No, she's amazing.
Wonderful.
I think in this century, we need such people.
Wonderful.
Who will
Thank you
speak
so
out
much.
loudly and say what the young people are feeling out there.
Wow, thank you.
Na leo hapa kuna space na kwambia ufuende kia mpatiangi hata.
Anakuja mpaka anafanya hivi.
Usianze wewe. Usianze please. My goodness. Ofu, we know we miss you, but Jafe, we are happy to have you here. Anapendwa na wasichana huko na wakali, yani
But tell them that I'm married, by the way.
Wow.
Okay,
And my wife is watching. Yeah.
Okay, he is married. He is taken, and you know, as women, we keep off married women, married men.
Yes.
Tell them,
my wife and my two beautiful kids.
Yes.
So I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Na sisi tunamuogopa. Umesema hivyo. Anaogopa akifika home.
I tell you, MC akona beautiful children. Wanakaa yeye tu. So next time bibi ajitolee kabisa atoe mtoto anakaa yeye. Very wonderful children. Congratulations, Mom.
No, beautiful family.
Oh, yes.
I'm happy for you.
Oh, yes.
And you know that's why we are here today.
Yes.
We have a very sensitive topic.
Oh, yes.
We're talking about a very sensitive... It affects so many marriages.
Oh, yes.
So many men, women, in-laws.
Yes.
Let's start with the good in-laws. Do you have good in-laws?
Oh, we have good in-laws. In fact, we call them fantastic, awesome, mentors, generational father and mother-in-laws. They are there. Though many are actually not very good, but we still have a few who are very wonderful. And they are called what? Fantastic, awesome, generational in-laws.
Okay.
In other words, they leave their son and their daughter to run their marriage the way they want. They just come in where when they are called in. I have such. I've seen such.
So is it for your side and Pastor Munene's side, both of your parents are
Us, we don't have any issue because Pastor Munene was able to iron things from the word go. One of the things we do, what Pastor Munene has done, he really goes to my side. He really goes to my mother and my father. Unless there is an occasion, mtoto amezaliwa, kuna celebration, lakini sio tu kwenda tu. He keeps that distance because the more you are distant from your mother and father-in-law, the more they respect you. The more you are familiar, you know, familiarity brings contempt. And so that kind of a relationship, me, I love it. You only go when you are needed, but not always there. So they are, but the couple involved must make sure that they keep the distance and the boundaries away from both parents and allow themselves to grow in marriage.
Absolutely.
Remember, for example, if I'm a mother-in-law, I've been married, let's say 30 years. My daughter-in-law is just 2 years, 3 years. I cannot come and tell her, don't do this, don't do. She has to walk the journey, just like I've walked the journey with their father-in-law.
Yes.
And today we are what we are. So I'm supposed to come in as a mentor, but not to come in as someone who wants to actually give, I want to command what things should be done and what should not be done. Upiki kijana yangu hata amekonda, those things that amekonda. Na labda sio ni kama Munene hata umweke drip ya mafuta hawezi naona. He's genetically that way. You get drip ya mafuta hawezi.
Jafe, what can you say about this? How have you been able to, first of all, munapendana kama in-laws? Does you do your side, your family side, love your wife?
Oh, definitely.
And ilifanyika aje?
No, the first time actually I took my wife for introduction at home.
Yes.
For the first time, I was like, I think this is the right person that I want to settle down with. So I took her home. So the first impression is the lasting impression.
Yes.
So my parents were like, I think you've been running up and down. This is it.
Walisema unatembea sana huku.
Walisema kijana yetu umezunguka. Umezunguka. Mungu amekuonekania.
Wakasema.
So wakasema this is amazing.
Yes.
So we actually took the next step. We went to their place, nyumbani kwao. We made the arrangements, nini. Kwetu tunaita koito, nyinyi mnaita urasho. What do you call it?
Kuna jina ingine na kwa ngumu.
Kuna jina I know it, but
nitaijua before hapa na mama najua.
So we did the first introductions, we did the traditional wedding, then the wedding.
Wonderful.
And I mean, the kind of reception we got from their place was so amazing. And moving forward, 2 years of dating, 3 years of in marriage now with 2 beautiful children.
Wonderful.
I think it's been amazing. And what I keep telling guys is that keep your in-laws at bay.
That's very true.
That's the most important.
Both sides.
Yeah, both sides.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, from my side, actually, I think it's my mother who came over when we gave birth to our children. But we rarely does she come to visit us.
Yes.
And then of course their side as well. Because one very important thing, especially wanaume ambao kwa Nairobi side, you cannot keep on inviting relatives or your in-laws because you think that you're this kind of a man, you're a gentleman. You want to prove a point.
Yes.
You need your own time as a man and your wife.
I agree.
You understand? Yes. And marriage is like football.
Yes.
Sometimes there are transfers.
Allah.
You understand?
There's commotion.
Yes. Kuna kuwaka na transfers. Zile player fulani ametoka Manchester United ameenda Liverpool.
Yes.
There's no any other point that ukisha toka Manchester ati sasa sisi watu wa Manchester bado tunafuata what are you doing in Liverpool? How you understand? Ikiisha imeisha. So relatives tunakutanaga tu friendlies. Mazishi, sherehe, harusi, blah blah blah. Tunakutania hapo, then graduations and then we go home. That's the most important thing. The weke heshima hapo.
Yes. I think I want to talk about 4 types of in-laws.
Yes, tell me.
Number 1 is the absentee in-law. These are in-laws who are not concerned about the marriage of their daughter and their son because they're also involved in their own lives. You find that they'll give you space to be. They don't even come to visit.
Yes.
When you call them, they are so busy.
Yes.
These absentee in-laws are very important, and mostly you find them in the Western.
Yes.
But in Africa, you still find there are few, but people still want to know what is going on. These absentee in-laws are very good because whether you may fight, whether you are okay, they don't care. It's your marriage.
But what happens to community, family, social life together?
There are those who are just that. They don't want to get into the marriage of their. They are not even concerned unless you go for them. Then they are not concerned, and they are quite good. I love that because they are giving you space also to grow and also to understand each other. Remember, the first few years of marriage, you are trying to lay the foundation of your marriage. Absolutely. And when you have many people getting into your marriage, the third parties, things can really get toxic. We also have another one, which is called the adulterous in-law. Yes, the seductive ones. Yeah, they are seductive. You get a father-in-law who gets attracted to the daughter-in-law and you want to have toa with them. It happens. I have done counseling. I have seen that. Oh yes, so many. Only that they are quiet. And I've also found mother-in-laws who are also attracted to the son-in-laws, and they want to have toa with them. So these are adulterous in-laws. They are there. They don't mind incest. You get that? Yeah, it's a spirit in them. You find even, I remember one was telling me she cannot be left in the compound as long as the father-in-law is around. Because he will keep on seducing, her and telling her, no, you're looking beautiful. They are there. What? That's the reality on the ground. My dear, on the ground it's that. We also have these other ones who are very stubborn, rude, toxic. You're getting that? They just make your marriage a hell. And that's when now, if it's from your mother as a girl, you've got to stand strong and say, no, enough is enough, and have boundaries in your marriage. We also have mother-in-laws from the side of the man, where you find now they want to interfere, the sisters-in-law want to come in, they are very toxic, they are very difficult. Such, if it's from the side of the man, then the man has to stand up for the wife and say, no, you're not going, amutaongea hivi, amutafanya hivi, because now the wife is helpless. Remember, there is nothing that I need to do for my people to love me. They love me because I'm their daughter. But Pastor Munene needs to do something to make sure that he wins the trust and the love from my people. And so if my people are attacking Pastor Munene, it is my personal responsibility, and this should be a law in every family. It is my personal responsibility to stand out and defend him, because he's actually defenseless in the eyes of my mom and my dad. And I need to tell them, no, you can't speak that to my husband. You can't say that. You get that? And Munene should also protect me against his people, because anything I will say, even if I say, uliona vile alifanya, na sikusema kitu, but he's supposed to fix his people. He's the one who's supposed to fix his brothers, his sisters, uncles. Me, I can't fix them. I don't know them. Yeah, so that kind of understanding is very important when we are dealing with in-laws. And especially the women are the ones who become so toxic. Sisters-in-law, rarely will you get a father-in-law, although they are there, or a brother-in-law who is intruding in your marriage, but they are still there. The majority are the mother-in-law and the sisters-in-law and the cousins, because they feel they are entitlement. This is my brother. We're going to eat what he has. We're going to use what he has. After all, that's how we were living before you came. So the man has to stand out. We also have men who stay with their mother, and that's very wrong.
No, there were three. There were four.
The first one was the fantastic,
the absentee,
the awesome, the mentor, the generational mother-in-law and father-in-law. They are there. Hawana maneno mingi. They want to watch you and leave you.
Unless
muulize kitu, that's when they can come in. We also have men, Japheth, and you agree.
Yes.
Especially if you come from a family whereby the girl is from a very well-up family.
Yes.
I keep telling the man, keep distance, and vice versa. Don't allow your wife, let's say your wife comes from a very rich family, and then maybe you have this big house which is 15 bedroom, and your father and your mother feels that they need to give you 3 bedrooms for you to stay around. That is not right. Because every man needs to have his own territory where he rules, not where there are 2 men.
Yes.
Because, you know, kwa nini mumeamka mkiwa mmechelewa, si tulikuwa tunasema tunaenda mass.
Tunatoka 9:30.
What's that kind of a life? So even if your father is so rich and your father is very rich, my father is very rich, let us go and look somewhere, Zimmerman. Tutafute 2 bedroom. So that respect and honor can remain. But the minute when we are there, they see us waking up, he's commanded, no, ebu nioshe your gari, you know, because it's the father. That kind of a life is not good.
And let me tell you, what Pasi is saying is really true. There's a wedding I'm supposed to MC somewhere.
Yes.
I don't want to say, okay, somewhere.
somewhere.
So we having this planning for the wedding.
Yes.
So how do we get the food guys? How do we get the tents? How do we get the chairs? My father has done that. So who's doing the camera team? My father has done that.
And this is the father of the girl,
the father of the girl. Who's doing the deco? My father has done that.
You hear that?
You understand?
It's a serious problem.
Then at some point, we've been paid deposit for the whole event.
Yes, sir.
And then at some point, the guy is like, I think this chick is going to sit on me, or the parents are going to control me. It never happened. Walitokana. Because of what Pasi is saying.
Space gives
space is very important
to be. Yeah. So I keep telling that, not even if they have the biggest house and you guys, you look for a room, begin small. A man wants to have control. You know, there are those times when you want to be yourself.
Yes.
Unataka kuja naked in your room. Sasa ukiwa na mother-in-law utakuja naked aje. Utakaa na Mandela.
You're speaking my language.
Yes.
You're speaking my language.
You want to come and we just have fun, and just sing, and just vibe together. We can't do that in front of my dad and my mom. Yes, we are together. You can't do it. So you have to keep yourself, composed. You have to keep on pretending all is well. There are times you want to shout as a man. Let him shout. He can only shout that in his house. Yes.
Where I come from.
Yes.
In any case where my mother-in-law or my sister-in-law has come to my place, do you know I cannot get home paka walale?
sikia.
And then I wake up as early as 4:30 a.m. Ndo nitoke mapema so that tukutane tufanye nini? To say what? So it's actually important to have that space because you know this is where you become territorial as a man.
Yes.
Thank you.
You can stand by yourself. You can
Thank you.
This is what I want to do as a man.
You know,
and in my culture, nikifika kwa kina mrembo, kwa kina my wife right now, Samantha, I can just get there when need be, when it is actually ile nimeskumwa kabisa. But for the last 5 years, I think I've gone to their place once.
Okay.
Wow.
Na sisi hatu wa
Nikiwa drop tu nikasema kana watoto, I'll pick you when you're going back to Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes. But any other time ati niko huko naingia sijui naingia hata nikifika pale nikiambia na kupikia chai naambia no I can't have water. After what and then
you see that kind of a mindset. Number 4
Yeah.
I was talking about
absentee,
adulterous
na wengine over interruptive na
yes. This
number
adulterous one you have to be very careful because this person wanted to introduce incest and anytime there's incest from a father-in-law it becomes generational.
Kuisha.
That's very serious.
My big sister, that happens.
Yes, that happens so much. I've had girls who have conceived children from their fathers-in-law. Because mama, and that's why it's very, when you are especially last bonds, I want to speak to the last bonds. Because mothers feel so entitled with their last born son. That munaniacha hapa aje, na baba yenu alikufa, baba yenu hata ni mgonjwa, kuja mkae pamoja na mke wako. That is wrong. What you're supposed to do, get someone, pay to stay with your mom so that you can stay with your wife. Remember, can you imagine this? I have 2 sons and 1 daughter. But the word of God does not say, I have a covenant with my son and my daughter. I have a covenant with someone we have no blood relation with, called Mr. Monene.
Yes.
This is the man I have a covenant with for marriage. You're getting that?
Not sure.
And not my daughter, not my son. And that's what I keep telling my children, that the minute you get married, I move from your seat, your wife sits there. She's the most important person in your life. If you're going to have a great man, I can only come to give you mentorship.
Yes.
And sometimes you may weigh my words and feel, no, mom is misleading us. Okay. Your wife should be a priority to you and your husband as well.
Okay.
I should not go and seek advice from my mother to come and tell Pastor Mone, mamangu alisema tusijenge, kwanza tusimamishe. What are you talking about? Alisema tusizae. Watoto watu tumezaa wametosha. Then am I married to my mother and my father, or am I having a covenant with Pastor Monene? And so that must come out very clear, because that confusion is now what brings the in-law to take control in your marriage. Exactly. Remember, nature does not allow vacuum. If a man is not able to occupy and control his family, when the mother and the father sees that vacuum, they'll come in. And so you as the man, you have to be in control over your marriage. Because if really your husband is insisting you stay with the mother, do you know what I would do? I would go get a house, pay it, and tell my husband, if you need us, get us in that house. Because I can't be in a territory of another man. But we have to be candid and forthright. Because as long as 2 women are in the same, there's always that madharau. There's that I'll feel, the mother will feel like I'm not cooking well, like I'm not dressing well, like I'm not taking care of the son. But maybe that's part of our growth. You see, that's part of our growth in marriage. No. But she wants me to be at her level of experience, and me, I'm just 2 years, 3 years. Nimeingia tu, hata sielewi niko kwa nini. Oh yes. So in-laws must keep her bay. The way he said, stay far. Watch the movie. Watch the show.
Hallelujah.
And just guide them. But don't give suggestions.
Now that these things, Pastor Sue and Jaffe, unasikia mama's boy. Umoa, but you still like you need to go to your mom, you need to go to, and it happens maybe both ways. My daddy's girl. Unajua, people have grown up with those things.
Yes.
How do you move? Yes, you love your man, you want things ziendelee vizuri. Mtaka kuwa a fantastic marriage, you know. Lakini bado these things from, I'm daddy's girl, I'm mama's, I'm a mommy's boy. How do you get out of that and actually decide, I'm going to keep the in-laws away? How do you decide that?
Yes.
I think, let me tell you, Betty, the moment that you decide as a man that this is what I want to do, this is the kind of direction that I want to take. You need to man up as a man.
Thank you.
Because the kind of generation that we're raising right now ni wanaume ambao kwamba wanataka everything comes from the parents.
Thank you.
Before I build, I need to console my parents. Before I do this, I need to console my parents. Let me tell you, me and my wife, when we got married, immediately I was like, so what do we need to do? Because I could not consult anybody. Nilifungua nyumba yangu because nilijenga na my wife na nikaita my parents nikamwambia this is my house, and they were so shocked. Because it's important. It's important.
That's an African man.
To take responsibility as a man.
Thank you.
This is my wife, and we're going to write our own story.
Yes.
As a family.
Yes.
But the moment that you involve in these other people, you will never move.
You will never move.
You will never move. How would I take the next move?
Exactly.
So it's actually important to rethink, sit down, and then refocus, and now have this discussion with your wife or with your spouse. This is what we want to do.
Yes, I think I agree with you.
Because Pastor Sue, you have a son.
Yes, me have sons too.
Utakuwa unaingia hapo kwa
No. Even we have already discussed that.
Mama anasema aje? Nataka kuuliza mama. The moment unakuta mwanaume anaanza kusema ati wacha niulize mama.
No, you are not in control.
Failure.
You are a boy. You are not a man.
Yeah, that's a boy.
Yeah, that's a boy. Because a man must have control. You know, one of the things God gave men is the ego. Ego is what makes a man. I love that masculine. Iyo kitu. There is a level a man cannot go down. You know, there is a level. Hata ujaribu kumpeleka chini. Kuna level Mungu aliweka mwanaume. Hawezi weka enda chini. And that's why a man deserves submission from the wife, honor and respect. And then him, when he's done that, he can love the wife unconditionally. And so a man must be in control, and you must have space for yourself and for your wife, because as long as there's a third party, even your brother, even bringing your brother and your sister to stay inside your house is very wrong.
Yes.
Help them from far. If they are staying in Nairobi, yes.
Sema pole pole. Sema pole pole.
Angalia kamera.
Kamera yako gani?
Ile. Hiyo ndo.
And especially these people who have marriages below 10 years. You haven't known your wife. You haven't known your husband. You even don't know each other. What do you love? What do you like? What don't you like? Sasa wakati watu lazima mama ajikase juu ataki to scream out because the mother-in-law is on the table room. You know? Sasa muna suppress hiyo joy yenu just because you have a stranger. Na yeye
kama ni sound effects lazima unyonge.
Na wakati aliolewa hakuwa na mtu, so she enjoyed her honeymoon. You are there and you are
kama ni wa
because you don't want to shout, you don't want to be yourself because there's a third party. I keep telling people, if you want to help your mother, if you want to help your father, help them from far. And thank God now these days we can get people who can stay with our moms and our dads, and you pay. It better cost you more, but have space as a husband and a wife to be yourself, so that you can be able to learn from each other, know the weaknesses, the strength of each other. That cannot happen if you have an intruder who is now a relative, but a house help. There's no problem with the housemate. Today you have a housemate, tomorrow is out. But when it comes to your marriage, sweetheart, you guy, you man, you must kick away everybody in your home. Let them come for only minimum 3 days.
And then
unless you're coming for the hospital. And you are the one who's supposed to deal with your people. For example, if my people come to stay in my house, they have come to visit me. Pastor Munene should never open his mouth. I am the one who's supposed to deal with my sisters and brothers and cousins and tell them, okay, so umekuja umekuja kufanya nini? Hapana, kuna kitu nafuatilia huku town. For how many days? 3 days. So mimi ndio nitampanga. Na nimwambie, I think it's important by Monday uwe memaliza, because as we are going out, hata kama muende. We are going, and when we are going, we don't leave anybody in our house. Ili aende. Pastor Munene should never ask my people, when are they leaving? Na me the same, the vice versa. When their people come, whoever comes to visit, whether a cousin, father-in-law, mother-in-law, yeye ndiye anastahili kudeal na watu wao. Wasione kama mimi siwataki.
When the problem.
Your problem. So we must learn to swap. You're getting that when it comes to in-laws. Just like when it comes to money. And this is so powerful. I wish every couple can hear this. This has helped us, and it has helped many people. Even when it comes to finances. For example, if this is Pastor Munene and the mother calls, you remember before I came in they had deals about finances. Probably was the financier. You get the point. Especially when the son is the provider and is financially stable. You find the mother has the affinity to love him.
Yes.
Because money has a way. It touches the heart of the mother. Yes. And so, when I come in the marriage, this is the way he's supposed to do. If the mother calls him, hi, niko nataka unisaidie na 20,000, niko na chama ninalipa, sijui blah, blah, blah. He said, Mom, let's see what we can do. Not what I can. What we can do. And then I'll talk to you. Well, I hope uambi bibi yako, Mom, nimekwambia, wacha tuone what we can do. You must embrace we. Then immediately, labda hata sikuwa na pesa, ananitumia hiyo. Hatutampea 20. We are not the only children in that family. Probably I may borrow all of them. You must be wise.
You're very wise.
Yes.
Why?
Ananipatia 10K. Narusha. Mimi ndio nitarusha. Nimwambie aone namba. Waliongea na kijana yake mimi sikuwepo. Lakini I'm the one who has sent the money. So the mother will be, I talked to my son. It is Sue who has sent the money. And then he should call, Mom, sikuwa na pesa. Sue akaniambia ako na pesa na nimemwambia kutumie. Tukipata ingine tutakutumia. Na mimi, mamangu akipiga simu, aseme anga anataka dawa za pressure, anga sijui za nini, za sukari, anga sijui za nini. Si stahili kumtumia pesa. Why? When he sends money to my mom, he's telling him, we have no problem.
Yes.
I have no problem as your son-in-law, helping you as a son. But when I send, I'm still maintaining the line. And I'm actually putting this, and there's something I'm telling my mother, singetaka ajue, kuna deals tunakuanga na ye. So one of the things we did early enough with Pastor Munene, we swapped. So anybody who needs money from my family, I have never sent them not even a penny. Pastor Munene is the one who sends. And me, pande yao, anga kuna school fees, kuna harambe, I'm the one who goes. And I'm the one, mimi ndio nitatoa. Because he says, I've come with my wife, I don't know what we have for the family. Yeah, and I'm the one who give. When you do that, when you swap, you are communicating 1,000 words. That you people, you are no longer one, you are no longer two. You are one.
You are one.
And I think the aspect of entitlement, where sisters-in-law, like my sisters, they would,
your brothers,
my brothers, they would think that sijafe kona pesa. Why is he not sending us money?
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then of course on your side they would think as well, why is he not building a house for our mother? You know, that kind of entitlement thing. And for me, I feel that we need to have a candid discussion where parents should start now letting their children be.
Wow, thank you.
Ukikuwa na kijana wako, once he gets married,
yes, sir.
Mwachilie. Let them make mistakes, let them forge their way, but as you get them. But the moment that you're controlling them, you're remote controlling them, you make the biggest mistake.
And then you make them not grow in their journey of marriage, and so they become stunted. There's something like
stunted growth.
Stunted growth. They are not growing. They keep making the same mistakes because you've not given them space.
Yes.
Especially so if you come also from a family whereby you guys, the husband and the wife, you're not financially stable. So you have to depend on your mother-in-law and your father-in-law. That's very dangerous. That one is very dangerous. I don't know, you need wisdom to be able to use the money they are giving you to make sure you empower yourself so that now you can give this man respect. Because every time when a child is sick, we call your mother, your father, because we are not.
That's another thing.
It makes them feel they have authority over you. And so it is important, even if you come from a well-to-do family, the little money that you get, make sure that you establish yourself as a couple to make sure you have something that actually you can get for your family needs. Absolutely. Apart from always depending on your mother and your father. I have seen a man who is 60 years. And every time he's brought to our facility in our hospital in Kasarani, Clay City Medical Center, the father has to pay the bill.
Hey.
I'm telling you, it grieves my heart. Kwanza niambia, pigia dad.
You know? At 60 years?
60, 65.
And it's embarrassing.
You know? And I see the father mourning and he wonders, what kind of a son, what kind of a daughter is this?
It's because
akumwachilia. You're getting that. So allow your children to be and don't interfere with them. Let them make mistakes. Wacha wakosane, wacha wasikizane. You're getting that. Absolutely. But don't involve yourself as a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law. You are there. Some of them even get into the bedroom when you're having to atua na hakunok. Anawapata huko, munaanza kuachana. You know, all this confusion. And so please, can we have boundaries?
But let's have, I love that.
Yes.
But so, kuna feedback, hata sijui tutaanza wapi. Wacha nijaribu. Aya, mwingine nasema, what about my wife talking to my mom? Is if there's a problem, bibi yangu huwa ananilenga, and I call my mom. Is that fair? So sasa wewe na Pastor Munene mko na shida.
Sasa wewe unapigia?
Huyu ni Pastor Munene, huyu ni Pastor Su. Tuko na shida.
Hiyo ni moja.
Tunapigia mama mgani?
Mamangu sasa.
Wewe sasa unapigia mama Pastor Munene. Unamwambia fanya hivi. Hebu mpigie. Sasa kuhindimiacha nyingine hapa ni my mother in law controls my husband to extent that he can't even visit us on weekends. Okay, ingine hapa inasema say what? I think I'm in love with the show Pastor Su na gonga ndipo. Help nani David nasema Wekesa kutoka Carnival na wapata poa aki hao mafunzo inabamba sana kweli. Okay, another one here. Hello TV47, I'm Wiki watching from Nairobi. Show iko lit. I feel like I'm the one you guys are talking about. I request Pastor Su's number for help. Aya, ni mingi hapa. Hiyo show iko fiti sana, ni Ambassador Felix nikiwa hapa Nairobi. Beti kuna in-law wengi wanakuja kukaa tu. Aya, let's see that one. First of all, thank you so much for everybody who's texting. You can also call us. Simu live. Thank you so much. The vibe is
He's a very wise man.
Let's keep the messages coming. We are going to be reading them, and also you can also try to call us. But Pastor Sumeskeyo.
Pastor Munene.
Yes.
If you have a problem with me, you're not supposed to call my mom. I'm not supposed to call your mom. Why? You are stressing your old mother.
Yes.
You know, every time you have a misunderstanding with your husband and you keep calling your parents, even when you solve your issues, they still think you still have a challenge.
Nimeelewa.
Unawapa pressure. Au watu watapata diabetes, au watu watapata depression because they still think, oh, my daughter-in-law, maybe she might think of leaving. So what you're supposed to do, probably you're doing this because you don't know, get a mentor. Someone who is very neutral, who doesn't even know you. Get mentors, and that's why I keep talking about mentorship. Get people who can sit down with you, therapists, counselors. Tell them, my husband has 1, 2, 3 things. What can I do? You call and ask for counsel. But every time you keep on reporting your husband, reporting your wife to your mother, it leaves them with a lot of questions. And they feel like you people, you are still nini ni watoto. And that is very normal. Conflict, by the way, conflict in marriage is a must. Is a must.
100%.
And any marriage that has no conflict, you are both faking. Because you are not a carbon copy of each other. So having conflict with my husband does not mean that we are not compatible. Does not mean that now this marriage should come to an end. Every time you have a misunderstanding with your wife and your husband, there are 3 things that you must always endeavor. Number 1, you must accept each other the way they are. That we are so different. Number 2, you must complement each other. Number 3, that misunderstanding should bring understanding.
And you know what?
Yes.
I agree with her.
Yes.
So, you see, marriage or any relationship, it actually thrives in compromise.
Thank you.
I have my own weaknesses. These are 2 people, totally
different people
who have been brought together by love.
By love.
And how she's brought up is not how I've been brought up.
Thank you.
You understand? The moment you take that responsibility to actually kunishtaki kwa wazazi, you know, I may forgive you. But in-laws will never forget.
They'll never forget.
They'll never forget.
And they'll never forget. And every time they see you holding hands, they see, no, you are faking.
This one is faking.
This one is faking. This one, they are not real. Because last week walikuwa wamekosana.
Yes.
And labda we are actually not faking.
Yes.
We have solved it. You're getting that.
Absolutely.
So please don't share your challenges with your mother and your father. Look for mentors. Look for friends. Just share it. Even if they give an example of you, they'll say, there's a certain friend, they'll not say my daughter, my son. So please look for someone neutral who can be able, who is not biased. Because if sometimes there are parents that if you come and tell me about my son, you find I'm siding with my son.
With your son.
Nakwambia vumilia. Hata mimi nivumilia Munene. Unafikiria tumefika hiyo miaka dhate hivyo tu. Na maybe my son is going out of the marriage. He's promiscuous. He's having women. This girl is going to get HIV and die, and my grandchildren will be left. I tell you, I keep telling God, I will have no business with my sons. Even they know.
Yes.
The daughters-in-law will be my friends. Because if I don't protect my daughters-in-law, I'm not going to have a generation.
Yes.
Because of trying to bring my sons closer. No, these sons cannot hate me. I'm their mother. But this one who is not my blood, I'm going to bring her. And I don't care her weakness. I also have weaknesses. And Pastor Munene, for all these years, he has been, bearing me up. I'll bear her weakness and bring up a generation. You must be a fantastic, awesome generational in-law.
I love
Stop being controlling, domineering, manipulative mother-in-law. That is wrong. It is demonic, it is satanic, and God is not happy with that.
Thank you.
Nakwambia. Aya, zingine ni mingi. Zinakuja.
Yes.
Okay, sasa acha tuanze hapa tena. Yes. Okay, tuache nene tumwe. All right, fantastic show watching from Baringo. I am healing from relationship stress. Wishing you the best. I like the show. What if my wife fails to cooperate with me? It's Masika kutoka Kiambu town Ndumberi. Mwingine hapo, repeat once more about swapping money when sending. I think we ameshika hapo.
Hiyo ndio anamesema talk to me direct.
Kama kuna kitu maintain our marriage like this intact. You know what? My people believe that Pastor Munene is the most generous man in the world. Na mimi watu wao wanajua kama kuna mtu anaweza wasaidia
ni wewe.
Lakini how did it come? Swapping. Because even, and then another thing, when you swap, you are people there, the opposite, cannot take advantage of you financially. They only tell you when it's very important. Because they don't wataki kuchoma picha. You know, there's a way they would want to maintain that good relationship. But for me, sis, nitumie 2K, sis, na mwingine, nitumie 1,000, sis, they would take advantage of me. But when they see Pastor Munene sending them, they're like, Kai, sinueni, yu mbona umeniambia pa, namwambia mimi sikuwa na pesa. Kai, mimi sitakuwa nikikuomba. You see that? Because they feel, wangetaka kuchoma picha ya kwamba they are extravagant with me. So swapping is the way to go. I tell you, it works. It has worked for us wonders in our family, and we have no issues about finances. Do you know how my mother-in-law and my mother says, ukitaka pesa, wacha kuita Susan, wacha kuita Pastor Munene, wawite wawili, waambie shida yako. Ndio hata ukiambia huyu mwingine ataambia huyu mwingine. See that kind of a talk?
I love that.
And I love that. Hakuna secret. You should hear them talk that. So when they have any need, they call us, both of us, they come. And when they come, they sit down. We have this need. Are you able to help? And that's the way it has.
I love that. Pastor Mreno, you know, time in Enangambio, and we'll read some more comments. Thank you so much. Ni mingi, lakini I want to tell you to ask you something, Jafetu. If there's a sister, if there are sisters-in-laws, mothers-in-laws, they are watching right now, and they are those people we're talking about, what can you tell them? Especially sisters-in-law, while are very toxic, they hate their wife for no reason sometimes. Maybe even she's pretty, ama maybe mechukua brother wao, and they are watching right now. What can you tell them?
Japheth, tell them something. Then I add.
Yeah. Let's not, you know, it has to be personal.
It has.
Mimi naambiaga, deal with your relationships, from wherever you are. Because, I mean, mimi nikichukua my wife, I know this is my wife and I'm responsible about our endeavors and everything. Anything else that comes from external places, it's not my responsibility. It's actually important to keep the boundaries and talk to me in a way that is respectful. Kama ni pesa unataka from me, just talk to me or talk to my wife in a way that is respectful. My sisters cannot call my wife and tell her to me school fees, to me this, to me that. We also have responsibility that we need to tackle as a family. So keep them at bay, but be respectful. Sisemi kwamba we are not supposed to support them, but let's do it in a way that actually is respectful.
Does not even hurt your marriage.
Exactly.
Another thing, one of the reasons why we have a lot of toxicity among the mother-in-laws and the sisters-in-law and whoever is in-law is because, number one, these people have a low self-esteem. Any person who has a low self-esteem will tear you down because you can only give what you are. If you hear me being abusive, I'm actually inside me. I'm a very abused girl. So low self-esteem is one of the causes that makes people, you know, a low self-esteem person feels inadequate, feels worthless. So they want to make you worthless. You're getting that? They are funny. They don't know who they are. So they have low self-esteem. Another thing is envy and jealousy. They are envious that their brother has a very good wife or their sister has a very good brother or whatever, and so they wish maybe theirs failed, and so they are very jealous. They would want also to have a toxic marriage as they have. People are not good as you see them. So jealousy also contributes. So you have to understand, are these people coming from envy and jealousy? Another thing is insecurity. They are mothers who feel that the firstborn is their husband, because every time walikuwa nakosana na mume wake, the person who used to come and comfort them is this man. And so they feel like you stole their husband because they have never left and the man has never cleaved. You can never have two wives at the same time. You have to leave your mother. That's what the word of God says, so that you can cleave with this man. And so mother-in-laws, and I'm one of them, we must leave our sons, we must leave our daughters. But peradventure, if we say there's something wrong, there's a way you can do. You can use somebody else to communicate the same thing. So that can also cause. Another thing that also is a challenge is infertility. Unakuta mother-in-law, they can really torture someone who doesn't have children. I'm telling you, you're in Africa, kwanza in Kenya. Wanaanza kukuja wakisema, sama huku hata kuna mtoto wakuku.
Tumeenda hata huko hata
hakuna mtu akupee maji.
Bado kupiga sheria atake kuzaa mtoto.
You know, all the time when there's infertility in marriage, the person who is the highest suspect is the woman. Are you aware that men can also be infertile? 100%. They have no oligospermia. Hakuna hata mbegu moja natoa. Ni semen tu. Na semen natokanga kwa prostate. Hii ingine ndio inatoa seeds. So a man can also have infertility. The woman can also be. Can we look for the root cause? When there is infertility in marriage, they feel like you've come there to eat and get fat. And well, let me tell you, leave them. Marriage is complete with or without children. That one must be very clear.
I love that.
You get that?
I will repeat that.
Yeah, marriage is complete. By the way, children do not validate marriage because children come from God. It is not we who give. If we are given children well and good, marriage is complete between a husband and a wife. And so feeling like I'm less a woman because I don't have children, that is very wrong. My purpose may not be children. Maybe God did not want to give me children for one reason or another. Labda tungepata watoto ambao ni all of them imbecile, wengine hawashikanishi. So Mungu akaona hapana, wacha niwapatie wahudumie watu. So don't come and intimidate your sister-in-law and probably it is your brother who has a challenge or vice versa. So can we get the root cause? The other one is that entitlement that he's saying. Feeling that my brother has more money than the wife or vice versa. Money does not make a family. It is important, but marriage is not made on money alone. Love and respect is very key. So these sisters-in-law, clear your mind. And let me tell you, whatever you are sowing in your sister and your brother's marriage, you will get married. You will also find them on your way. Whatever a man soweth, you will reap. Give respect to your mother-in-law so that when you are a mother-in-law, you'll be respected. Because what goes around
comes around.
And in 30 seconds, what she's talking about. Sometimes I keep telling men that you're respected just because of what you have. So it's important that you guard what you have.
What you have.
Invest. And just because hata mama yako, mwenye mama yako herself.
Yes.
Kama una kitu.
Hakuna si.
There's always that favorite daughter or favorite son because akona kakitu. So wewe uko kwa marriage yako unaanza kumdhulumu mke wako just because you think ati I'm doing this for my mother, I'm doing this for my mother. The moment that you don't have that thing and she can tell you, the moment you don't have those finances,
you're not a favorite.
You're not a favorite son.
Even their mothers who love sons who have more money, and those who don't have, they are just handled like lesser, brothers and sisters. I want to say this. Are we about to finish?
I don't want to finish, but but you're about to finish. No, finish.
Say something. That point. It will be my parting shot.
Oh, it should be a parting shot.
It will be my parting shot.
I love that. Hey, so let me just do one, two.
Yes.
Unaziona hizo zote?
Are
you seeing all this?
We need to continue with this topic.
This topic kama itaisha. Mpaka kuna mwingine anasema ndo tumeingia kwa nyumba, acha kuningia hapa. Ati alikuwa anataka bwanake asikie. Sasa anasema tunaweza anza tena ndo bwana ameingia kwa nyumba. Enda YouTube, please. Go to YouTube if you missed this show. Na natunyesa nimeingia tu sasa kwa nyumba, please. You can go to YouTube and actually watch the show. Na pia will give you Pastor Sue's number because I'm saying mashida hapa ni mingi sana.
Yes.
And I think let's just have the parting shot. I
want to say this.
Let's do it as the way you did.
Wow.
Yes. Pastor Sue, lazima uambie.
Yes. Lazima niwaambie hii.
So if you want to watch the show, make sure you go to YouTube and just say what?
Say what?
That's the name of the show.
A real man will never correct the wife in front of the mother, in front of the father, and in front of the sisters, and in front of the brothers. When your wife makes a mistake, you protect her, you defend her with all your might. But in private, you correct her when your eyes are wide open. Never correct your spouse in front of your mother and your father. Both sides, never. Protect them even if they are in the wrong. Then in the private, tell them, I think, my dear, you are in the wrong. You do not deserve to answer my mother like that. You know, my mother is a very angry woman. I expected you. You are more educated. You are more exposed. You should not have answered my mother like that. Please, that's the way to go. My number, 0712 265 746. 0712 265 746. That's the number you can call me, and we're going to make things right. If you are there and you're struggling with it, you need to call me so that we rectify, because some of the things could be because of twatwa. So if you're there, you have ED, you have low libido, you have masturbation side effects, come. That's where we have to say
Pasi.
what?
Say what?
Say what?
Pasi.
Yes, my dear.
I want to tell gentlemen out there, all the men out there, kwamba, be ready for trouble if you get married from a toxic family.
Wow.
Where they're running every other place, disturbing you with bills and telling you that you need to do this.
Wow.
They're feeling entitled. Man, be careful, be cautious. Don't marry from a toxic family. Because the moment you marry from a toxic family, you're going to inherit a lot of problems and you'll never rise up as a man.
Can they, those who have already married, can you look for a therapist?
Yes.
We correct that.
Look for her.
Yeah, look for a therapist. We correct that mistake. So that we can see whether that marriage can move forward.
Pastor Su, before you finish the last thing.
Yes.
Kuna zingine hapa si.
Yes.
Sasa kuna ingine hapa mtu nasema, I would like to add this.
Yes.
Limit contact when needed. Reduce the time spent with toxic in-laws if their behavior affects your well-being. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Haya, so lingine, what is the best way to keep the love alive in marriage?
We need to talk about how to keep how to spark.
Next week,
yes, next week, yes.
Please give me the couple's contact.
Wonderful.
When unafikiria you guys are
not couples.
We are not couples.
Mimi ni colleague wa Betty.
No, they're not couples.
Munene is brown.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, and tall and handsome.
Pastor Munene ako mahali, ako hapa tu mahali.
He's here in the show.
Wow. The couples. No, Samantha, he's good.
No,
he's safe.
He's safe. Yes.
This is.
Yes.
We'll give you Pastor Sue's number.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thanks for the topic. I'm following you from Moja 3 with my wife. My question is, the wife is financially stable than the man. To an extent, she is the breadwinner. What is the position of the man in that case? Chap.
Let me answer. If your wife comes from a family where they are well-to-do, and you man, you come from a family where iko hivyo, na mama ako na pesa, since you have a dream as a man, use the money that your wife has to empower yourself and make sure when you're empowered, return. Usiwe na shida kuambiwa kama si pesa yangu hungefika mahali umefika.
Yes. Wewe ulipe loan. Ingine ni hapa. Betty, can you ask Pastor for me how long should someone take if she or he had several heartbreaks to begin a new relationship? Umevunjwa roho. Imevunjika sasa.
I have a one word for them.
Ndimu imefinyiwa.
Listen. God, you are God, does not consult your past to determine your present and your future. Don't dwell in the past. Aliyopita?
Sindwele.
Thank you. We were also heartbroken, but today we are happily married.
Amen.
Yes, tuko hapa.
Kila mtu amepitia.
Tumekapitia.
Hapa nje.
Yes, another one.
Ingine, hello, it's Newton Kipkemboi from university. Kuna ingine hapa. Uganda wanawake hupiga nduru sana during twatwa. Should we totally keep our siblings away because shida sana kwa hiyo?
Yes, that's why you need to listen to Radio 47. Put it on when you having twatwa, so that even as you mourn, you yell, you scream, the children can think it's still Radio 47 that is on. Move on.
Ingine. Kwa hivyo mweke sauti. Hello. It's Newton Kipkemboi from University of Eldoret. Tell Mrs. Munene her guidance has illuminated our path when we most needed light. Thank you for sharing your wisdom so generously. I really love the show. Thank you.
Love you with the MC. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, you're doing a great show.
Thank you.
How I wish Pastor Sue can help my family, which is already separated for 1 month now.
My number.
12
265 746, my direct number. When you call that, you're gonna get me. And if it is separated because of Twatwa, we're gonna treat that.
Kwanza hiyo si ni rahisi sana.
Haraka muendelee vizuri.
Okay, but on a serious note, we'll get the number again. Then you can contact Pastor Sue. I basically so much in love with your show. Sometimes you find a wife taking too much care of her family and forgetting her own. How should this be handled? Devi Mwaniki Kasarani. Devi from Wiki Kasarani.
Learn to swap. We have already given them.
Swapping. Swap.
Wacha kukwamia kwenu. Kwenu ulitoka, jenga kwako.
The other side.
Yeah, you cannot serve two masters. You can't be at your home and at the same time you are jengering your home. Please listen to your man.
Aya, ingine hapa, mimi hata nikipiga mother-in-law simu, hukata, then anacall msichana wao. Na labda, I have something for her.
Can I say this? You can never enter into the mind of your mother-in-law or your father-in-law and her heart and change her. You have to work with the way she is. If she is a hot-tempered person, you are more educated, you are more advanced, you have more knowledge. Know how to navigate. These people don't change. But you can change yourself and know how to stay with that toxic mother and still have joy and have a wonderful family.
Wow.
Hey,
yes.
There are too many. There are too many. So Pastor Sutu, last word of wisdom to Mother Malia. Your last kabisa.
I want to say this.
Wakaribie.
Marriage works. And we have said that over and over again together with MC. Listen to us. We are in marriage. It is working. Not that we don't have difficulties and challenges, but we have known communication in marriage is important as blood is to the body.
Pasi.
Yes.
Marriage si ya kuvumilia.
Marriage
is meant to be enjoyed. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Enjoy marriage. Kwa sababu ati ndoa ni kuvumilia. And I hate that
no.
Marriage is meant to be enjoyed.
Enjoyed.
Simple.
And you see what? There's no marriage in heaven. Jesus will not marry you. Hapa ndio marriage iko. Enjoy your life and have a positive attitude. Carry your own aura, you know, of happiness, joy, and forget about people who criticize you for whatever they think you are. Enjoy your life, love yourself, take care of yourself, and you see what? You are going to bring up very healthy children and a great generation. Yes! See you.
Say what?
Say what? Say what? Say